Ladies, gentlemen, be prepared to be amazed. Within the next 60 seconds, I'm going to craft exactly what prenatal testing is all about, and more importantly, why Identifai brings a revolutionary product into the market. Any expectant parent or future parent will ask themselves in the end of the day one important question. I want to know if my baby will be eventually healthy, yes or not. This is an important question, repeated regardless of your geography, your ethnic origin, whatever it is, the answer will remain the same. This is where Identifai comes into play. We have developed the first highly sophisticated AI and machine learning within the prenatal testing, and you will hear about it in a second. Just to give you an understanding, Identifai was as a spin-out that came from Tel Aviv University. The founder of the company is basically an Australian, was born and raised here, and then he did his PhD in Tel Aviv University. And like 9 years ago, he has developed in his mind the first AI platform far and beyond anyone thinking about AI. Just to give you the magnitude of the market, there's 140 million delivery per year. And unfortunately, between 3 to 6% of those deliveries will end up with inherited genetic disease, which means either severe morbidity or also mortality. When we approach the market and start asking questions from the direct customers, and our target market, our first market, is the US market, a few answers came up repeatedly. The first one, looking at all the commercial products available in the market, they are all limited in scope, which means that they can only offer a handful of conditions. And for any reason, if your baby is fall out of this panel, you will get a false negative result. That raises red flags to everyone around the table, clinicians and couples as well. The second part, the flip side of the coin, is to undergo invasive procedure, which is called amniocentesis. This is obviously well-known, a risky procedure, and obviously vast majority of the couples will simply reluctant to undergo invasive procedure. And finally, if and when the decision is being made and there is a clear indication about the condition, most of the time, it's already too late in the process. So what's the solution? What's the resolution? This is where we come in. What we are offering is a simple blood test drawn on the first trimester as of 9 weeks of gestation that provide you comprehensive information, whatever the mother is a carrier, but most importantly, is whatever the fetus is affecting with something which has an imminent condition. The second part is that we have developed the platform based on the American Association Genetic and Genomic guidelines, which basically stated comprehensive is fine, you can provide comprehensive report, but it's more important whatever those conditions are treatable. So the development of Windrose, that's the name of the product from scratch, is to address exactly that point, is that those conditions are comprehensive, but even more importantly, the product can address the genes which are treatable, which means that you run through the Windrose, you're getting a positive result, and accordingly, treatment can provide it throughout the pregnancy in the utero. That provides for the first time complete and holistic solution for the couples and the clinical community to finalize getting the results they're looking for. And throughout our clinical trial that we have completed last year, we came across severe inherited diseases, just to name a few. One of the diseases is called Pompe disease, that has basically degradation of the internal organs throughout the pregnancy. And the fact that we have managed to find that condition very early in the pregnancy those babies got the proper treatment already in the utero, and in that way, the clinician have managed to save lives. So this is just from the product perspective. The second part, which is imperative, is that throughout the journey, the current time, the couples are forced to come on a sequence of meetings, go through series of blood tests. It's basically a long odyssey that will take weeks and months. With our product offering, the mother comes in once, one blood draw, one setting. There's no need for the paternal blood. If for some reason the father is not in the picture, is not available, we have managed to solve this problem. And in that way, it shortened dramatically the process from the blood until we can provide clinical results. And when the clinical results comes in, it provides a very clear answer, either yes or no. There's nothing in between. Either the fetus is healthy and the couples continue the journey without any stress, but even if the condition indicates positive results, then as I mentioned, treatment could be provided and based on that condition, either through pregnancy or immediately right after. The reason I mentioned repeatedly right after delivery is that many times what is going on in a real-life scenario, couples go home, they're happy and content, weeks go by, months go by, and then they realize something wrong. What can they do? They rush back to the specialist, and by the time they get diagnostics, most of the time, it's too late in the process. So time is a crucial factor and a great essence to the triangle community. From the payer perspective, which can enormous cost saving, obviously the couples, and also the clinicians, for the first time, they will get a meaningful tool to be used on a daily basis. So this is just to give an overview on the product side. Moving forward in terms of introduction into the market, we are heading towards commercial phase within the next 2 months. There is no need for an FDA whatsoever. We need to undergo a very short regulatory process, which is called the CLIA. And the CLIA is basically you appoint a sequencing lab that was already pre-certified by the FDA. And from that point in time, the beginning of October, we'll be able to start our commercial journey and our clinical journey. And within the clinical perspective, I'm going to add a few words. Based on the trial that we have completed last year, we have done head-to-head comparison with the invasive procedure, which is perceived within the US market as the gold standard. And the bottom line was very clear. We have reached 100% accuracy. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. So moving forward, we are not obligated of any kind to run through any trial, that we have decided to focus on the clinical marketing initiative. And therefore, we have recruited the top of the top 8 hospitals in the US. And you can imagine once those hospitals start presenting their own experience, we would expect a massive hype in our favor that has direct impact also on listing moving forward. And lastly is about the commercial phase, is that one of the drawbacks within the US market is all about the CPT coding and reimbursement. Luckily for us, the CPT coding for that product is already in place, which gives us the indication that we will start the revenue stream right after the commercial process. So there is no hiccup from that perspective. And as I mentioned, at the beginning of October, we'll be able to initiate the commercial process and basically start generating revenue accordingly. And lastly, last point I want to highlight is that based on a dialogue which is going on behind the scene, the company has received a feedback that as time goes by, we should expect an offering for a licensing agreement with one of the giant companies which are lagging behind. And the reason what they are lagging behind is what they are offering is generic information, basically just providing information about the mother, but they are unable to crack the enigma and to provide information about the fetus. So we see complete synergy in the market moving forward, and we expect that has obviously dramatic impact on our revenue stream moving forward. Thank you.